People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same. Like you're doing all this for a reason.
There you go. Hey, what's going on? This is Studio 81 and I'm your host, V Dot. And today I got a very dope guest that I had on the show before a while back. One of the most electrifying, raw talents, raw energy, my man. About to be y'all number one favorite very soon. Long live WOULF.
Oh!
What's good,
Man,
bro?
it's a
What's
blessing
good?
to have.
Hey, man, it's
Blessing to be here. Just man, thank
man,
you. Thank you.
one thing I admired about you, above everything, not only like the way you perform and just the quality of your music, because you got like the quality from the sound to the lyrics, the cicadas, everything. Music is dope. Is your energy and your positive energy at that. Like when you come on, like when you come on the show and when you're performing, it screams superstar.
Oh man, I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
not a lot of people not a lot of people have that capability. Like when I first heard your music and stuff like that, like I was like, yo, that dude, yeah, yo, he got it.
Thank
So
you.
like I need to give you flowers, you dope. And we gonna get into your journey.
For sure.
Now, from where I first got introduced to you for about what, two years ago?
Mm-hmm.
About 2 years ago. How has the journey been then moving forward now?
Man, there's been a lot of soul searching that has been done. You know, like it hasn't been easy. I say that. You know, from finding my sound to my style to just being confident with myself. You know, being okay with who I am, where I'm at, and um, you know, it's been a road, it's been a journey, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
nonetheless, but being able to really like hone in on the talent,
yeah.
you know, aspect and really dive into like who the hell is WOULF? You feel me? Like what does WOULF stand for? Like what is, you know, that's like the $1,000,000 question. Like
That is $1 million question. We definitely gonna get into that
for
part.
sure.
But tell us about the soul searching part. What led up to you having to start soul searching or finding out who you are?
Um, it was more about just like, you know, events like, you know, losing my job and you know, I was dealing with, you know, breakup and stuff like that. I was originally I came down here, you know, I was
Yeah,
dating somebody, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And you know, that kind of played a big toll on it, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, being away from my family, you know, it really put my character to test, you know what
okay,
I'm saying? Really trying to figure out like life and how to deal with um the trials and tribulations of being an artist, but still being a person who has bills and have real
have the
life
life.
necessities. Yeah,
Yeah,
yup. And so along that journey, it has created itself its own path, you know. And instead of just trying to fight and go a different direction, I'm like, you know, this is the journey that I feel like has been presented to me, and really to like, okay, let me lean on myself. You know what I'm saying? Let me lean on myself. Let me lean on the power that God gave me,
gotcha.
and that's where, you know, the end has came about. Like, you know, in that song, in that record alone, I've been able to speak on so many different, touch on so many different topics, from selling merchandise out the trunk, you know, selling plasma to stay afloat for rent. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Or just even just having the times where I'm saying, hey, I lost my job, and you know, losing a job for a black man is kind of like rough,
it's
especially
hard.
when you dating somebody. You know, that's it's kind of like we supposed to be these providers. You know what I'm saying? And not being able to kind of it played a role on the relationship, the strain, and
Yeah,
eventually the person. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with all of that, dealing with the pressures of, you know, I'm out here by myself. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean?
now now let's touch on that. The music journey, as we all know, well, I hope everybody knows, it's not an easy journey. It's It's very taxing.
For sure.
And if you're not careful, you fall into all these pit holes and stuff like that. You dealt with this music journey testing your character, testing who you are. Most people would have gave up at that time. Most people would have quit. What was your drive? Like that say, oh look, I came this far.
Yeah.
What kept you going? What kept you motivated?
Um, and to be honest though, like I've always thought of myself as a star. Like I always thought like I was going to make it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, music literally is in my veins, you know. Like I grew up around it, you know. My family on both sides is musically inclined, from DJs to choreographers. I just feel like it's my time, and even though I've been going through what I've been going through, and I've dealt with all these situations, um, I just never gave up hope that
Thanks.
you know I'm gonna make it. You know, what's meant for me is meant for me. You feel me? So being able to say, okay, I got this going on. I know this is due. I know I'm past due.
Uh,
You know, I lost my car behind it. You know what I'm saying? They came and got up out of here. You feel me?
look,
Like,
I've been there. I've been
you
there.
know
I
what I'm
know how it
saying?
is.
But still being confident in myself and saying, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out. Um, so that's what helped kind of like change up the way I viewed this business. Like, okay, we know that, music is powerful.
Very much so.
Tap into your story.
Uh-huh.
Tap into your story. The world need to hear your story because you never know who you touching, and and it ultimately became like a healing thing for me. Like, all right, I'm not ashamed of that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to put it out there, and it kind of was like a lot of weight off my shoulders.
Now, on your joint that you got now, the N.
Yes, sir.
What was the N signifying? Was it the N signifying who you were as a person growing up, becoming a man, or just an end of the bullshit, end of the games? Like what was the N for you?
The end was like, it was we're killing off the doubts, the that little voice that's like, nah, this ain't you ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? You not strong enough. On a spiritual side, we say it was like, just killing off the negativity that shrouded like my mind and my thought process, and crippling
Yeah.
me inner me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I can't
We about to call security.
all right, shit. Well, oh my God.
Somebody back there dropping stuff like y'all can't see, but he got some guests in the back with him. I'm not gonna call security on them this time, but if they drop some one more time, Big D's outside smoking Newports. It's like nah, hey nah, nah. But go, going through the trials and tribulations,
Yeah,
coming up with this end, killing off the dead character.
yeah.
What was your strength to lean on? 'Cause I know, like you said, it was music, but was it your music?
Oh.
Certain artists that got you through it, and who were the people, if any, that helped you push past getting to that point?
Yeah, it was. I'd say it was really just like digging in deep. A frequent collaborator is Keydron Wave.
Mm,
We didn't tapped into a couple records before, and so I wanted to make a record that was a little bit more serious, because we made fun stuff, like we
yeah.
made like OnlyFans. We done made Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It was fun shit, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And we knew that 2025 was coming around the corner, and it's funny though, because like the song was supposed to come out like earlier in the year, um, but it ended up coming out like 3 months later. So
yeah.
again, time is gonna take its course. What's meant for me is meant for me.
Exactly.
And we had tapped into a guitarist,
Mm,
TJ on the strings, for the guitar company, and wanted to really just bring another element that I knew would actually kind of soothe my soul. and allowed me to tap into my story. You know, I've always loved instruments growing up. I've always played instruments growing up, and I always thought that, you know, having more instruments in my catalog of music
Yeah.
would kind of take me back to a place where I actually enjoy making music. I had fun making music, but it was like a healing process. So I noticed, okay, cool. With all these elements, with the guitar, with the production, with the shit I'm hearing in my head, I'm like, man, let's do something that I ain't never really done before. You know, which
Yeah.
was give a venting type of record, a record that allowed me to piece the story together.
And get it off your chest.
Absolutely.
Now, with the venting, with the getting off your chest, with the you becoming you, what was the most challenging part of this journey, especially with this new album that you're working on and this single that's out right now? What was the most challenging part?
Probably just coordinating everything. You know what I'm saying? Making sure everything is like where I want it, you know. Like, you know, me and TJ, we done had conversations like 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, like,
Uh,
you know, and I appreciate him, I appreciate Wave, you know, and these are just some of the first collaborators for this project. But I done sent them ideas and, you know, probably crazy ass texts. They probably think I'm crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting stuff off my head. And, I think we should, oh, yeah, I like this. Oh, I think this came to me, you know? So,
yeah.
but I definitely just coordinating, just making sure that, because, you know, we're all in different, like, areas for real, you know.
So they're not here in North Carolina.
Well, so Wave he's actually out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. But TJ, he's out in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he's flying out his stems from his guitar
All
on
the way
over.
over here.
Yeah. So it's really like, okay, we producing this record over here. He sending it to him. He hearing it. He trying to hurry up and later. And you know, he got things he's doing too. You know what I'm saying? So again,
Everybody got shit going on.
so that just that coordinating. Coordinating is always is right now has been, I say it's the biggest hurdle. I ain't gonna say it's the most challenging thing. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't had nothing too crazy outside of coordinating. You know what I'm saying?
Now you collaborate with these dope artists and these dope individuals. Is there any artists out now that you dream like, I need to get a collaboration with this person, or I want to get on a track with this person right now?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a
Sexy
couple.
Red? No.
I would do something crazy with Sexy Red.
Okay.
I think if Sexy Red came to my world,
Uh,
you know what I'm saying? I think we'd do something stupid.
you probably get J. Cole or Jay-Z or somebody like that, Lil Wayne. I don't think she there right now. I love you, Sexy Red, but
You know, after hearing some of her new stuff been pretty dope. I'll say for like the project I'm working on right now though, I probably would say, you know, get an artist like Gunna on there.
oh yeah,
That'll go crazy.
yeah.
You know, that'll go crazy. Don Tolliver.
Whew. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a new artist that's out now. Quinn.
I heard it. I've seen some articles about him, but I haven't actually got time to sit down.
Yeah, I think she's dope. She got a record right now that's going crazy with Kehlani.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much a nice little vibe. I think that, you know, if we did that record together, that'd be insane.
All right. Now, what is with these things happening? It seems like the trajectory of your career is starting to go up even more. What does success look like you as an artist, for an artist?
Success really is a journey, to be honest. You know, like
Definitely.
we set goals.
Yeah.
You know, we set goals. I mean, we set goals as small as getting a record done, getting the cover art done, you know, getting it mixed and mastered. Do we do the whole? Did we get it? Did we do our paperwork? All right, cool. You know, that's small goals to all the way up to like saying, okay, this festival, that festival, performances. You know, it's really a journey. It's not really a super like of a destination, because what we're creating something that I feel like has never been done before.
Right.
You know, so we're creating music that's timeless. That's my goal. I'm not into like the microwave shit. I'm into like that longevity.
Taking your time, critiquing it, making sure everything is right.
Because the music that we're creating is like, can speak volumes to people, you know. Whether they in their early 20s all the way up to their 50, you know, 60, like these is records that speaks to the soul. And I feel like when you speak into the soul, you'll forever live, and that's what long live means. You'll live on forever.
You know I mean? Like that. Now, you talk about as far as like microwave music, pop thing.
Sure.
What is the most important component of the whole structure? I'm gonna say the whole sandwich of your music. Is it the lyrics? Is it the melody? Or is it the beat? What's the most important thing on the whole song?
To my music, so it's a journey. So when you listen to a record like The End, you know, the first thing you do, you hear them guitars, you know, and you hear that synth, and it kind of just, it brings you to where I want to take you, you know. So the listener, when you listen, like you hearing, like you on a journey with me, like, you know, I'm taking you to this place where I'm able to speak to you one-on-one, and as I'm spitting to you, I'm walking you through every single step, every single bar is a story. It's a part of my life. So you're seeing it. Gotcha. You know, it's vivid, it's colorful, it's you seeing it firsthand. You know, and you know the goal is to make you feel it, because somewhere down the line, maybe you may not have sold plasma to pay the rent. You might have sold ass.
Hold on. I ain't selling no ass for no rent, all right? I came close, all right? There's a couple of older ladies that hit me up. If they that had them bag of nickels and dollars, I'd have been out there. But I have sold plasma. Yeah, it's been some tough times. The V dot you see today is definitely not the V dot of yesterday.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she might talk about it. She might take her teeth out and get to work, you know. So, I mean,
listen. Only thing stopped me, like she told me, SSI only come on the 1st and the 15th, man. It was the 16th. I couldn't wait to the, you know.
Yeah, nah.
Now, as far as your sound and your elevation, how do you feel you evolved from where you started out, like doing music, to now? How do you feel like your evolution has been?
Well, I mean, that's I feel like that's a part of the, so it's all together. It's the process. It's the I compare it to a werewolf. You know what I mean? Like, this is the transformation. You know, this is the awakening. So, you know, now it's like we fully equipped. You know, we fully equipped. Again, it's kind of like you get that calling.
Yeah.
You know, when you get that calling, it's like now you walk into it and you see the light, and then you really embody it, because everybody can see it, but if you don't see it,
it don't even matter.
You got to do it for yourself before you do it for anybody else.
Facts. What do you draw your biggest inspiration from? Like, because the amount of songs, because you got a lot of music.
For sure.
And I know it's something that's probably not even out.
For sure.
Books and pages and pages. Where do you get the inspiration to write so much and just like dig down and just bring it to the pad or to the studio?
I mean, it's I get inspiration from everyday life. You know, again, tapping into the brand. It's kind of like building a movie. You know, I love films. I love movies. I love seeing the shit on the big screen, but knowing what they did in the back, you know, the stories, you know, and how sometimes them characters really relatable to me.
To real life.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I'm building these stories, but they're stories about my life. And I'm able to kind of sit back and just be like, damn, all right. Oh, damn, okay, I did. Wow. Oh, I did. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, she was. Oh, then he did. Oh, you know what I'm saying? This is like, these are stories that I've been through, you know, family, relationships, partners, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the way up. And it's going to continue to be stories on the way up, because people can see me on stage. People can see me in videos and shit, and that shit's cute. But what's going on in the between time.
Now, I heard earlier when you said things about like, your relationship, going through everything. Let's touch on the whole being an artist
Right.
and being a person. How do you feel? How do you coexist with being you, being an artist, and maintaining a relationship, and maintaining a family, and having your strong, whatever your values or your structure is,
For sure.
not collide with your artistry?
With that, I say, you just gotta really like make sure that, you know, whoever you dating, whoever you with, whoever you're engaged, married to, they understand what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's like you gotta understand that I am an artist. I'm a person who, and I'm very, 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 very. One, I'm very hands-on with my craft. So that might mean like, hey, not really feeling. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Two, I'm dedicated. You know what I'm saying? I'm dedicated. Um, and I say three, I'm very dedicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes for me, let me say this. For somebody to be with me and date me, they have to kind of understand that. And sometimes I might not get it right away. I might not understand right away, but break it down to me. You know what I'm saying? Break it down to me because at the end of the day, like texting is good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's communication. Um, on the phone call, it's communication. Visits, you know what I'm saying?
Communication.
There's ways to communicate. You know what I'm saying?
I like how you said that because we're gonna say that's logically thinking as a man,
Word.
but as a woman, not always the case. Because I know it's been probably nice. Hey, what's going on? Nothing in the studio. That's it. What do you mean? And you working, so you
For sure.
communicate. Do you feel like sometimes communication has been a strong point for you, or a weak point, or maybe in between sometimes?
I say maybe in between, just because, um, there's there's times, right? There's times where I've been like that. I've been like, hey, what's up?
Single word. Yes.
Yeah, you feel
No.
me? But then it's like also realizing that it's not when dating somebody, when you're with somebody, especially in this type of field, you do have to keep in mind of the other person and how this other person feels too, and really like take time to slow down. Hold on, even if I got 5 minutes, slow down.
Yeah.
Let me really like. If you ask me how my day was, let me tell you how my day was. Don't
Yeah.
just say, "Oh, it was good." It was, like, and then listen and then hear them out. Like, what's up with you? How was your day? How was your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have a conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Be more emotionally available. You know what I'm saying? Because then also too, that actually helps with songs as well too.
Okay.
Being more emotionally available. Especially, I mean, that can come out many ways. You know what I'm saying? And then also too, what I'm learning now is like just understand somebody's um, how somebody wants to be loved.
See that's a hard one sometimes. And I'm gonna say in my experience. Let me say in my experience for people that's watching. In my experience, sometimes it's hard because people can say it's like somebody say, "I want some water," but that's not what they really want. So they could be like, "I want to be loved." Let's go with the what girls always. What's your love language? Feed me. It's that's that's my love language. But some people like I like affection
Yeah,
or
for sure.
whatever, but they're not an affectionate person.
Mm,
So sometimes, and like I said, this is my experience. People can say they want love this particular way, but it's hard. Like somebody say to me, "I like communication." I'm like you, okay. How you doing? This is the text that I'm getting. I haven't gotten there all the way. Like you said, being emotionally available sometimes because I'm a workhorse. Like, but How do you tap into that? How do you tap into that emotional side to be able to communicate? Because as an artist, I know you could communicate with your pen and your pad
For sure.
better than you could communicate with the person you're with. How do you tap into that part for those that don't understand?
Like with somebody?
Yeah, with a person.
Man, so like off rip, like, like we all gotta keep in mind, like we all got like trauma from like different situations in our lives at different times.
Yeah.
And I think that like it's all about knowing somebody's like attachment style. You get what I mean? And so knowing that is kind of like it'll allow you to know how to like that. It'll alert you to know how their triggers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And to be careful on not to do those type of things.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
and
breathe, talk.
Those, I don't know if those could be triggers.
Yeah.
They can be triggers.
They can be triggers. Listen, I done had a couple of people who I didn't necessarily want to hear talking. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Then I had a couple of people who like,
why are you here?
Yeah, why are you here?
Yeah.
But maybe that's because I know the comments and everybody, you're an asshole. It's okay. I know what I am. But but I know certain triggers as just as people and dealing, and especially as being black people.
So
we our life and our history, and let me say, black people in America, some of our history has been built on trauma.
For sure.
And to even be able to speak that, tell people, hey, learn how to deal with somebody's trauma. A lot of times we be like, what? My trauma. And we don't look at the other person's trauma. I feel like that's very, very, I'm going to fuck up this word because I have a list, okay? Admirable?
Admirable.
What's the word?
Admirable.
Yeah, that's the word I'm trying to say. Of you to be able, like, just to advocate, be able to talk like that.
Yeah.
Like, I just got to give you a flower because not too many
it.
people, not too many young men are even able to understand or comprehend that. Even me at my age, I'm still like, feelings? What are those?
Right. No,
Can you put them in your pocket? Like,
I mean, I think though, like for me personally, like I think just women have always been like my forefront teachers. Whether it's my mother or
shout out to Mama Wolf in the house.
Absolutely. Or it's been women I've dated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always dated older women too. You know what I'm saying? Women that kind of have they know what they want. You know what I'm saying? And
mature.
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah. For sure. It's just knowing that though, knowing like, and then being somebody who's malleable. Like I'm like, okay, cool. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is how you like to be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You take a little bit to the next. You know what I'm saying? And you just learn. You learn, but nobody's perfect. You feel me? Nobody's perfect. So.
I'm perfect. I'm sorry. I know it's gonna be so many people. I'm perfect, all right? I'm gonna say, and you may not believe so, but you're perfect too. God made you this way listen, I tell you, everybody is perfect. God made you for this reason. You may be here for somebody else, don't know it, or you may be here for yourself, but you're perfect.
But I got 6 toes though on one foot. On my right foot.
You got 6 toes?
Yeah.
Man, I got 8. I'm still perfect, bro. I ain't need that other toe. I ain't need them other toes, man. I ain't need them so they ain't help my jab step, man. I ain't jump as high. You got 10 toes, you ain't really holding it down. It's weight, boy.
Yeah.
With 2 toes missing, boy, I went from 180 to 175. Boy, I'm jumping out the roof. Now,
that's a good one.
When it comes to creating your music and being in the studio, do you got any rituals or anything that you do? Like, some people, hey, I gotta smoke a blunt before I do this. I gotta drink this. I gotta have that. What's your ritual as far as like you going into the studio? How do you prepare?
I've been thinking about that. Like, I've been thinking about that, like, having a ritual, like going in, and I was thinking, like, do I want to like, I don't know, like do something special. I don't know, like
Be like Janet Jackson, only green M&Ms inside the studio.
something like that. Yeah, like something crazy, like maybe I don't know, treat it like communion, pass a couple around. I don't know. Right now, I'm just like, man, I kind of go in with a mindset like what I want to do, and just kind of, again, I'm already talking to like the people I'm working with.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is the goal, this is the goal, this is the goal. And when I get there, we just go to work. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this. What I like to do though, a lot of times, I like to talk like about like how everybody day going.
Uh-huh.
See where everybody head at, and then kind of just dive in from there. Like, okay, cool, because that might spark up something right there, like the conversation. Oh, you had a bad day because of traffic. Oh, well, you know what? I was in traffic and I had to honk the horn.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah, I
start
was
putting
in
pieces together.
right, and now we got a base for a song.
Got you. Now, has you quote unquote making a bass for a song or saying something about somebody, has that ever had any negative impact on you?
Not for real.
Not
For
for
real.
real.
I don't think I have gotten there yet.
Okay,
I don't think I've
okay.
gotten there yet. I know, like, I made a record called Real Love, and I will hold you, like, a lot of dudes really fuck with the record because there's a line in the song I'll be like, and your daughter like my daughter too.
Mhm.
And a lot of guys, like, they can relate to that because,
Yeah.
a lot of guys, they stepdads or,
Somebody else's ear pops.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's, anything for the, anything for
For the
anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. I haven't gotten to the point where like I got a phone call like, oh,
What you say that about
like,
50 Cent?
I ain't got that yet. I feel like it's coming though.
Listen, it's definitely around the corner, especially with, like I said, the trajectory of where you're going and stuff like that with your music. I already see it. Cause I'm gonna be the first. Yeah, I remember we did an interview, and I'm in the corner with my friends. I used to have a TV show. You don't know Lone Wolf? Yes, I do. Like, that's
I will
gonna be
say
me.
though, I have had more people like, I had people reach out that's like from the past, like, oh yeah, what's up? Like, how you doing? I see you been doing, and everybody want to hit you with I seen your little video.
Yeah,
I heard your little song. That's the biggest thing right there. So like, yeah, I get that a lot though.
Well, with the music, what was your biggest? Let me say, who was your biggest influencer on your journey as being an artist? I should say.
I ain't gonna hold you. I got a couple, no cap.
I think I know one. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the count of three. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Michael
V
Jackson.
dot. V dot.
Michael Jackson.
Hear me? Yeah, yeah. I guess if you like the greatest of all time, okay. I thought you were gonna say V dot. I really thought you were gonna say V dot.
I mean,
yeah, I know. It's all right. You ain't got to spare my
no,
feelings.
V dot is dope.
I'm dope, right?
Yeah,
I'm dope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta give you your flowers too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, eat that, Michael. Speak of the stars.
Yeah.
There's a new, I guess, movement going on. New black movie, Sinners.
Word.
Have you been seeing it?
I have.
No, I haven't.
For sure.
Because I'm always late to the party.
That's all right.
How do you? Hey, as long as I'm there. How do you feel about the movie?
Dope.
Dope.
I mean, I give it a 10 out of 10. At first, I was kind of skeptical though.
It's like that with black people. We're the most skeptical group out here.
Absolutely. I was like, it was 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
But then the story got broken down to me even further, and it was like, oh.
Now, is it one of those movies you gotta watch it again to get the story, or?
Yeah, if you like me, like you ain't tapped in, yeah, for sure.
Oh, I
But
definitely
like,
got to watch it like 6 times. I am not tapped in at
yeah,
all.
yeah, like you gotta watch it again and be like, see that? Oh, that makes. Oh, wow, yeah, that make. Yeah, that's all.
Now, one celebrity you would love to meet.
One celeb I love to meet.
Yeah.
Mm, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown?
Hell
Fuck that nigga. Hey, Chris.
yeah.
Listen, I love Chris Brown, but I don't like Chris Brown. And I have my good reasons for not liking Chris Brown. But I could understand because and I'm gonna give it to him. He is an amazing artist, great songwriter, and a great person on depending on what day of the week you see him. All
For
right,
sure.
that's all I'm gonna say. But all right, Chris Brown, Michael Jackson. See, I see where you're going with some of your influence. You know, the biggest in the name.
Yeah.
So
I would say probably you say people that I would love to meet too.
uh-huh.
Yeah, man, I probably would have to say mm, who's bigger, like who's like super huge, like I don't know, man. Like probably like I don't know, probably like person, I don't know, person who made like what's his name? The person who did like the Windows,
Windows.
Microsoft.
Oh, you talking about Bill Gates?
Yeah,
As soon as I see him, it's up. As soon as I see Bill Gates, it's up.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop. I want to meet him. I'll do 30 years quick for him. Pop, 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 pop. That man released it like, see, yeah, you. I know you in the studio for real. Bill Gates had them, and I'm gonna say Bill Gates because this is the articles and stuff like that. Released it, about like 10,000 mosquitoes with the COVID virus. Yeah,
What?
yeah, that's your boy, your boy,
No.
your boy.
For real?
Yeah, yeah. Start watching. You tapped in. Start watching his interviews and watch and listen to how
I
much
already
he
told you
talk
I'm not
about.
tapped in.
Yeah, listen. Watch how many times and how many interviews he talk about depopulation, how we overcrowded. I'm
For
like,
real?
bro, you ain't been to Texas? Texas is huge. Everybody in the United States can fit in Texas and still have room. But he talk about it's overcrowded, and what's the mistake about that is we're not overcrowded at all. It's a crazy amount of space in the world. Certain cities, certain states, dense. Everybody want to be like, everybody wanted to be in New York. So New York has a huge population. I think like 5-10 million people in New York. I mean, we got 2 million maybe in Charlotte. I mean, so yeah, exactly. So it's not that we're crowded,
Right.
but certain areas, cities that people want to be at are dense. Everybody wants to be in LA, so it's dense. And he's talking about the Earth's too crowded. That's your boy though. And when I see you, Bill, it's up, all right, and it's stuck. Yeah, I'm going to jail, all right.
I just want like access to some secret shit.
I bet you do.
That's
I bet you do.
it.
Talk to Donald Trump.
That's another motherfucker too. I ain't gonna lie.
Listen,
That's crazy.
Listen. I met the man once. He was cool to me. That's all I can say. That's all I can say about it. I hear I met him one time and he was cool. I ain't got nothing else to say. I don't feel like getting jumped by the
BT,
Black
yeah.
Coalition when I leave out my house. So, as far as the music, what's the next journey? Let me say not the next journey, but the next step, as far as like where your music goes from here.
For sure, yeah. I mean, so right now, building up a project. It's a 3-piece project, volumes.
Okay.
And
What's the name of the first one?
so if it's all the American Werewolf.
Okay.
But the first one is called The Awakening. So
Dope.
it's pretty much just being able to. It's the realization. You realizing that you him, that you heard, like, and it's dope because it'll range. The message would be able to range from, like, say, your early 20s all the way up and through, because there's different awakenings that we all can have in our lives.
Exactly.
And so, just being able to tap into that side, like records like The End will be on it, just something that'll get people, or the way people up to also who Long Live Wolf is and the Wolf Pack, the fans, and you know what we got going on.
Okay. So if people want to get in contact with you, like promote, because one thing about this show, somebody has always asked me, yo, how do I get this in contact with this artist? Who do we contact to contact you, or
Yeah, for sure. Contact Minnie Martinez. You hit her at It's Just Minnie. She's pretty much been doing like she's my publicist, but she's also kind of like tapping into like the management side of things. So she'd be like the best person. Or I mean, for real, like just hit me up on like Instagram in the DM. And, you know what I'm saying? We can work it out.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we got for today. With my man Long Live Wolf. Go download the new single, The End. This is the end.
Yep.
The End.
The End.
The
The
End.
End.
The End. You
The
know,
End.
I'm niggified, so I'll be like The End.
The End.
But it's called The End.
We say The End, but you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. He's on all social media platforms, right?
Yes, sir. You can find me everywhere at Long Live Wolf, LONGLIVEWOULF.
Okay. And make sure you go stream his music. And I always encourage people, don't just stream, go try to buy an actual album. Even if you gotta DM some, hey, let me get that album and stuff like that.
For sure.
That helps way more than one of them 1 cent streams, stuff like that.
Well, it'll be like a penny. It'll
penny.
be like a dot.
It'll even be a penny.
Dot,
They'll even give you a penny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Listen,
it's crazy.
If you support music, he's an authentic artist. He's not your cookie cutter artist, and he's very talented. I advise y'all to go check out The End, his new single, and the rest of his music catalog. Amazing. I'm saying, I'm V-Dot, this is Studio 81, and we out.
People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same. Like you're doing all this for a reason.